Sweetheart, just future thinking, you know?
Appreciate that.
7 months?
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey folks,
And I'll come in.
can we have you sit down please? We're already in session. We've been in session since a little after 5, so we get to our regularly scheduled program. Great.
We already did that. We opened up the 5 for non-public. Is that recorded?
Yes. Okay, the board's gone through, reviewed the payroll and the manifest. Signed off. Did everyone have a chance to review the minutes?
Yeah, I make a motion, we accept the minutes of January 13th.
I'll second. All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Okay. We have a letter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
That was on order last week.
was it voted on?
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. All right, so the board,
Wrong page.
I'm sorry?
Wrong page.
Yeah, I know, I was looking at something else.
There you go.
Yeah, the board voted last week to purchase a 2025 Ford F600 dump truck for the highway department. The amount of $163,278. So I'll take a motion for the chair to sign this.
I make a
Purchase
motion
agreement?
for the chair to sign the agreement for the Ford.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's all you need on that, right? And then we have all right. Last week we discussed modifications to the town hall here in the back room area. It's going to be a larger room on one side there. That'll be, we're hoping that'll be temporarily for the tax collector when we do the addition in the back. We also feel that this room will be about 18 feet by almost 19 feet. So it's going to be a pretty good sized room back there. We feel that we'll be able to use that for other activities, other events, some of the other things that go on in here that are outside of the back office. So I need a motion to have the chairman sign the building permit.
I make a motion for the chairman to sign the building permit for the town hall renovation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Yeah, that'll be good. We had a non-public earlier. Our 6:30 meeting with Pittsfield has been rescheduled. We had a meeting scheduled for the Selectmen's office. Because we're short a board member, we're gonna reschedule it, push it out to probably next week. So that being said, we can talk about the watershed grant. Mr. Frank.
And thank you for giving us the time tonight to present the draft warrant article for the. Yep, thank you. Frank McDonald, 58. And
She's trying to take notes, I think.
we're putting this on the agenda tonight, and we're about to worship actually draft warrant article. Also with me is Steve Langford from the DES. He is here to answer questions that may pop up to the Q&A and more information. Yeah, so I emailed last night to everyone a copy of the draft warrant articles, what hard copies we can too. So
Is this the email? Yeah,
Sorry?
okay.
So in any case, and this is, like I said, in draft form. We want to make sure that, I had conversations with Karen earlier this last week in regard to, it has to go before the town's attorney,
Mm-hmm.
agenda for the meeting for vote. But essentially, I'm going to read through it. Shall the town of Barnstead vote to raise and appropriate $100,000 to hire a certified management engineering firm or consultant to develop a watershed-based plan and study conditions and provide design solutions to reduce external and internal phosphorus loading in the Suncook Lakes Basin to prevent future silent bacteria blooms and to authorize the issuance of not more than $100,000 bonds in compliance with municipal finance act policy 33:1 and set as amended, with the amount of such bonds and notes to be reduced by any grant funding received for the project, and to comply with all laws applicable to said project. To authorize the select board to issue, negotiate, sell, and deliver said bonds and notes, and to determine the rate of interest thereon, and the maturity and other terms thereof, and to authorize the select board to take any other action or to pass any other vote relative to it. It is anticipated there will be $100,000 in principal loan forgiveness under the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services Clean Water State Revolving Fund. The interest on this loan will be paid in full by donations from Lakeland Improvement Association and Suncook Lakes Association. And this was the request from our last meeting with the board. Fiscal impact note, tax impact associated with this would be $0 per $1,000 valuation. Any and all interest accrued prior to loan forgiveness and administrative costs has been negotiated to be paid by the lake associations and held in escrow. Estimated tax impact on that again is 0 per thousand, and I just put in percentage question mark valid for the pass on. I don't know if it was a majority of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Would this be a majority vote or, yeah, you don't have to have
So it's
two-thirds.
majority.
Do we already have an engineer that we're looking at, or?
No,
Um,
so,
Do we have,
actually, so, what I have,
because this is done all over the place. I
What's
mean,
that?
different towns, different lakes, different
Yes.
water bodies.
Yep. and so what I have for everyone here too is I don't have enough copies.
Is this the list here still?
Yes. So you have, yeah, this is the total list, Rick,
Oh, all right.
all right?
So these are, okay, these are liable vendors or contractors, should I say, engineers?
60. So that, what I gave to you was kind of a master list,
Okay,
okay, of all the different consultants and contractors, okay, and Steve can speak to this.
are these all the contractors or are these all the contractors that have actually done this type of stuff before?
Yeah, so this is, this is construction firms, to answer that question, Rick,
Yeah,
these are construction firms that have responded to RFPs and bid requests.
for this type of
Yes.
construction.
And Steve can vote.
Yes.
Good evening.
Steve Landry from the Department of Environmental Services, so from the Watershed Assistance Section. We manage grants and loans to develop and implement watershed plans. And,
Okay,
just as a disclaimer, we maintain this list. We don't recommend firms. The master list that Frank shared is a full list of over 80 firms. Some of those firms don't do any watershed planning.
right, that's what I was looking at.
And then there's a shorter list on there, I believe, that you may have shared with the select board. You'll see a note in the right side column that says certified lake manager. Those are firms that do a lot of this work statewide. There's about 90 completed watershed-based plans in New Hampshire. That means that maybe 10% of our lakes in the state have watershed-based plans. It's not a great number. Most lakes and ponds are in need of a watershed plan now.
Yep.
We're at a terrible tipping point in New Hampshire with cyanogens and phosphorus concentrations being far too concentrated. So there's that master list. And so when we do a request for qualifications in this type of work, we usually just email the full broad list because we're never sure when they gain experience in this realm. As you can imagine, there's about a half dozen firms that have the specialties needed to do this work. So at DES, we do see a constant corral of firms that respond to these requests, but we're always leaning toward getting the word out as broadly as possible because there's a lot of work out there and very few firms that specialize in it. So we're hoping that the firms are building their capacity to do this work.
So being from DES, how many other towns in this local area are involved in this watershed program, or is this just Farnstead right now?
Well, we have
Because I know New Durham's been working on this for a while. Alton, we're around Winnipesaukee, that whole area as well.
Half Moon Pond. They
Yeah.
completed a watershed plan.
Okay.
They're now at the stage where they're eligible to get grants to implement that plan.
Okay.
And as you mentioned, the Lakes region has a lot: Mirror Lake, Wentworth, Crescent Lake, and then to our east we have Nippo Lake. There's a watershed plan. Ayers Lake is looking to get one. So it's a competitive time to secure these dollars to get especially these SRF loans for the planning of the $100,000 principal forgiveness is kind of I don't know if I hate using the term miracle, but I'm just so thrilled we have it in New Hampshire.
Well, I'm just wondering what the guarantee is on it,
I'm not
on the loan.
well, it's there. The loan's there now.
I mean, the forgiveness on the loan.
It's 100% on the
It is, huh?
Yeah, we've
Okay.
never had any town have any issues with that. DPS has never.
All right.
I know what you're saying is
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great and everything, but then when it comes down to it, you get whatever. You find out it's got to match it or something like that, you know.
There's no match
Okay.
required. That's why this pot of money, when we talk about it with other states in New England, they are extremely jealous.
Yeah.
Because the ability to use clean water state revolving fund loans, it always existed there.
Yeah.
But to apply it as stormwater planning dollars is something that New Hampshire has tapped recently. So, I know in 1 year we had 9 watershed plans queued up under this planning program, and each town got the $100,000 principal forgiveness and got a fully completed and approved watershed plan. So those numbers are kind of the average now. There's half a dozen per year that come in looking for those loan dollars, and DES is very motivated to award them because of our cyanobacteria issues in New Hampshire. It's because otherwise there's about $75,000 per year in our planning grants program.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't touch on
No.
so it's insufficient. Actually, we have grants to implement plans that are completed, but we don't have enough planning in our EPA planning dollars grant for it. But this SRF loan program is kind of the quote-unquote line for planning.
Are there, I mean, this money right here is strictly for the engineering. Is there grant money or money available for the actual construction?
Once,
Because that's where the price is that's the price we're gonna see.
correct. And so this SRF loan for $100,000 will get your plan developed. They'll identify the problem areas in the watersheds, and they usually, consultants that work on it will develop a site matrix. Like, here's our 42 sites. Here's our 50 sites that need attention, including culvert replacements, upgrades, stormwater, whatever it is. The rough costs to do it, and it can be up to $1 million.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And
Well
then,
over that.
yeah, so once the plan is completed and it's a 9-element DES EPA approved plan, it's then eligible for the implementation dollars, which they're advertised every year through DES. And we pass through $500,000 a year in that grant program.
How many engineering specifications have you seen after the fact? Like, do they explain or prioritize which areas are supposed to, which areas would be most beneficial first, based upon the amount of watershed that's happening, so that if you end up with a $2 million quote, so to speak, you might be able to work your way down and take care of the priority areas first. You know what I mean? As opposed to, because selling a couple $1 million to fix a problem that people don't understand. I mean, watershed. A lot of people don't understand what the consequences are or what it's actually doing to the water bodies, or even where it's coming from. They don't understand that a road that's pitching right down towards the lake is where that stuff's coming from. So to sell them a $2 million bid on on engineering, or not engineering but construction, is a tough sell.
Sure. Of course, it's your problem.
Great questions, Rick. And again, if we apply, so the plan will identify and prioritize the areas that they fund, right? And then if it's either on public or private, then that concerned party would get involved. Then we would apply for grants, okay? And the grant would pay, as it stands right now, up to 60% of the construction costs. And then if, say, it was town property, the town then could bring in a 40% in-kind contribution to the project.
Okay.
Whether it's through trucks, manpower hours, administrative, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing with, we had our meeting last week with the associations and the folks that live on the lake. And there's actually a couple of other associations on the 2 lakes. One woman was asking, hey, what about the fact that we're a private association? Can we also apply? And the answer is yes, they can. And so they can come up with in-kind contributions as well. Or even monetary donations, depending on the size of the project.
Yeah.
Just to get back to a couple of other things, we know for a fact that the money has been earmarked for the town of Boston. We know that and if I can, we actually scored very, very because of, one, the group of folks that we
That's all we have here is water.
What's that? Yeah. All we have is water. They were glad to see, because of the size of the body of the two lakes, plus the effluent coming out of the two lakes into the Suncook River. They were like, yes. And I'm still Steve, when this is stuff that he's communicated to me, as well as people in his office. So, we know Scott scored very high on that. And then lastly, no, and I've heard Steve say this, and I know other people in the room have said it, I've heard him say this. No town has ever been denied $100,000 loan forgiveness. Okay, it is literally called a loan. All right, and it's more almost like this hybrid loan grant thing. That is a little difficult to wrap your head around. Certainly, from my perspective, my previous career, I'm like, okay, how does this work? But it's a really neat program, and no town has ever been denied 100% principal forgiveness. I've had this conversation even with my next door neighbor, and who would say to me, "You can't tell me that the town's not going to be on the hook with this somewhat, right?" And I'm like, "No, they are not going to. Believe me when I tell you." And that's why we're going around. We have a presentation for the United Library, and I've done a little road trip, if you will, to a variety of different people. And people can actually contact the other towns who have had the same experience. This is it's a gift horse in the mouth to something, a resource that's so important to everybody when we talk about the public beach or our sun.
Yep. And I'm not sure the 100,000 is really the concern. It sounds like that's pretty much sold. You can get 100,000, you're going to pay for it. It's not going to cost you anything. We love that. It's when they come back with a plan, and that plan is a couple $1 million or whatever. Executions where the problem, where I see some kickback. You know what I mean? So it's nice to know in advance that there is monies there. Even if it's 50-60% is still a great deal, but depending on what that engineering number is,
Correct. And that's, I think, what you mentioned was really key, the prioritization scheme and the completed watershed-based plans that you have a prioritization matrix or whatever they're going to call it. Each one calls it something different. They'll have a dollar cost per pound of phosphorus removed by each practice. And for example, we recently with the town of Littleton and their Partridge Lake restoration plans, going back a few years. They were in the first lake in New Hampshire to get SRF dollars. But they had a wastewater treatment facility in town.
Oh.
So they were already getting millions of dollars of SRF dollars, and like 100K, whatever.
Yeah.
We're used to it. We deal with millions of dollars to manage our wastewater treatment facility. But they got their restoration plan done. The watershed sites for stormwater management were prioritized. And then it was one of the recommendation measures for that lake was in-lake treatment. And that in-lake treatment was going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
The Lake Association couldn't touch that. However, grants became available and they pieced it together, and eventually they do in-lake treatment up there, which is expensive. But the upper and lower Suncook lakes, project costs to implement it are going to range probably $150,000 to $200,000 per round. But we're set up in the fund, as you pointed out, 60% of the total project cost. And as Frank mentioned, a lot of people usually aren't coming to the table with a lot of cash. It's more
Right.
paid. Sometimes the town is involved, especially public works. We do have some length of pipe available. We do have some gravel set aside. That's all nice non-federal match that we can project. So the other thing is to keep in mind is these watershed-based plans aren't regulatory. It's all voluntary.
I know.
So no one's gonna DES is gonna see your plans and like, Markstead, get to work, pay for the stuff. We're just chasing people to get grants and homes to
Right.
do planning and implement. They're non-regulatory. The only limiting factor is volunteers and their pursuit to implement the plan. And I think one of the most valuable things that comes out of these watershed-based plans is the partnership with the municipalities, because you guys typically know where a lot of the problems are.
I can tell you where most of them are, yeah.
And you just signed up for the stakeholder committee for the project, so, but that's, you know that's the best way to develop these,
Mhm.
closely with Public Works and everybody else in town to ID those problems. Things don't have to be done priority 1 through 52,
Right.
whatever's advantageous and what will apply for grants in the future. So
Excellent.
whatever's, you have something in your capital investment program that you want to target, maybe you're a little short $5, you can apply for a grant, you could partner on that and get it done.
All right, cool.
As long as it shows up in the plan somewhere, some mention of it, it's eligible.
Mm-hmm.
These consulting firms are pretty good at mapping the watershed, finding problems that they're going to rely on expertise here, and that's why it's a good leverage point for the town. Take advantage of it, get things that you want done in there.
Yeah.
As long as it's done, it's not the place watershed, and that'll go a long way to help fund.
Been a while since we've seen this thing. Is there anything at all with any of this that has changed?
Since last year,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
No, it's all the same. The SRF program is well funded. They're on schedule. And the only thing that changed was the successful town meeting to approve to do the pre-application.
Yep.
And as Frank said, that ranked toward the top of stormwater planning projects, so that was a big box checked off. Wasn't a surprise. It's a big project. And your project ended up on the project priority list at DES, so that money is now locked.
Yeah.
The next steps are getting town approval, this year's town meeting, and once that happens, then the clock starts ticking to get in the full application to DES, which is a follow-up to your pre-application. It's kind of a cut and paste exercise, but that formally gets done.
Good.
Great.
It's a good question.
While you guys are there, I'm going to allow the audience to ask any questions if they have any. We good?
You know, public input.
Well, I was going to pick up public input before.
Hold on.
There's a certain kind of gravel that you guys see that work better than others. Okay.
I would let our consultants answer that. I can barely, I'm good at funding those things, but not designing.
That was a good answer. I like it.
Practices involved, simulate stormwater, from Keystone up to large coarse gravel, top there, so it varies. And we work closely with the stormwater center to formally answer those questions.
Do we still have time to get this article reviewed and written up properly and everything like that? Okay.
We don't write a date.
Well, yeah, but we have to have,
We have to review.
right.
Yeah.
It still has to be reviewed. Okay.
We at Capital Lake currently have a $75,000 319 grant that's been approved.
Mm-hmm.
We're waiting for the governor's council to all sign off on it at this point. So we're hoping to get that approval done, let's say by May at least. It was approved sometime in December. It's taken a while for it to come through, but we have it. And that A319 grant will tackle the 22 different areas that we have on the lake as a result of the watershed program that we have to be fixed or addressed. And $75,000 will cover North Farmstead Road, the beach over at Dalton Beach, the program, and the beach over at Dalton Beach.
Okay.
So $75,000 is a small amount of money, but what we've also done is the town of Alton has a $20,000 grant from New Hampshire Lakes Association. Block Lake has some money that they've got left over that they've assigned for this. Any hours that we put into this project is treated as an in-kind contribution. So I think we're good to go with the 3 areas. If we have any money left over,
Mm-hmm.
we can tackle some of the other areas that we have.
Oh, good. That's a good to know.
Yeah.
So our grant was a little bit different
Mm-hmm.
than theirs. Ours was a grant, it wasn't a loan. But, I mean, FB Environmental, who dealt with us,
Yeah.
we don't have the resources that Suncoast Lake does with biologists and land people. They helped us throughout this whole process. It's supposed to last 24 months, it lasted 18. And they did a phenomenal job with the whole thing.
Good.
And now we know that we need to take and address this. We've got 10 years to take and address these. We're going to take and jump on the next 3
Mm-hmm.
so that we can get there.
Great. Thank you.
So FB Environment. Yep. And I said that.
Which is not a formal endorsement of that.
All right, great.
If I could just, going back to, Steve mentioned stakeholders earlier, a group that's working, on the project as well as the town. We have a very experienced group. We have Karen and Dave Bartlett from UNH.
Mm-hmm.
On our call with DES last week with Katie Zink, who's the funding guru there. Dave basically talked about all this experience coming up with in-kind contributions, and coming up with matches. We've got John Gopian, again, the environmental officer at Manchester City Airport. That's what he's retired from. He's on the committee as well. We got Ken Fadler, who's committed on the shores of Sunbrook. And we've got, for instance, the Half Penny Farm, which is on top of the hill, which actually is there because they want to be a good neighbor. They really, they know, that, this is important for them and for the whole community. So,
Yeah, and they have a lot of animals too, right? Up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're right at the top of the hill of the lake. Okay, good.
So, I guess just so, if there's not any more questions, not to take up any more time, just in regard to what you brought up earlier, the assumption was that we did have enough time. That's why we're presenting more on the document tonight.
Yep.
I need to take that once it's reviewed. Karen and I had a discussion earlier in the week about being reviewed by the town's attorney. And I need to take that to, the lake associations as well.
Okay.
We've already had discussions about putting money in escrow.
All right.
I just need the formal vote. We don't see that as well.
I would suggest on the language and the draft language, I saw that it mentioned the grant, and then we're probably stipulating.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No, if your study there identifies something on someone's personal property, does the town still have to potentially pay for that, or are we only responsible for the town road?
Let's just say, great question, Andy. And I just spoke with Andrew Tebow, who's the director over at Camp. So, and similar questions were asked when we were on the meeting with DES. But so no, that would be if they identified, for instance, that there was let's just say an old cesspool or something like that bleeding into the lake or something. That is that would be Fathom's responsibility. Okay, and working with DES, in the group in regard to either applying for specific grants for that, and then also coming up with income contributions.
That's an interesting question. Is there a recourse for that at all? I mean, I know there is with septic systems and leaching water and stuff like that. That's all the property owner's responsibility, enforced by building health officer or whatever, and DES obviously. But is there any kind of recourse for obviously with watershed you need material, trees, everything to hold back water or to filter it through the ground before it gets to the lake. if they clear cut their lot in the back, and it creates basically a slide for water, is there any recourse for that? I mean,
Not directly linked to the plan itself.
okay,
I can think of an example on Nicole Lake in Barrington where this happened. They got their watershed-based plan completed. We're working on their targeted areas, they're doing land conservation.
Yep.
Just, they're being pretty aggressive with it. And, they have done a phosphorus plug and all that, and they have a steep slopes around
Yep.
Nicole Lake, and private owners like that. It's time to harvest trees.
timber.
Yeah, timber cut, and it was really egregious, and water quality violations occurred. So it's nothing to do with the plan so much. There's no recourse linked to the plan because it's not regulatory document. When there's clouds of turbidity pouring into the lake, all of a sudden people call us. We go out, investigate water quality data. You're in violation of state water quality standards, but the plan is never mentioned. It's nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It's just someone violating water quality standards of their own.
Okay. And I do know there's some regulations in reference to timber cutting, with setbacks from water, filtration, everything else before it gets there. But those guys are cut anything standard.
Yeah, which happens. It's unfortunate to see that.
Right.
These plans typically promote best practices for silviculture, septic systems, and everything. Try to hit all the hot spots. But sometimes we get kicked in the gut after you complete a plan. Those people typically aren't part of the process.
Septic systems on the shorelines are probably the biggest threat, or one of them.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think we all come into the process of watershed planning like, I know it's going to be septic systems, it's going to be the big smoking gun, and then the consultants do the watershed modeling and everything. Like, well, septic systems are only 20% of the problem.
Yeah.
The rest is residential lots and driveways,
Roads.
It's a combination of things, which is interesting because some people come in and they participate and they'll point the finger. You people in that code with your 1950s septic systems are killing the lake. Actually, no, it's your parcel on the building.
Right.
So sorry, you're 60%.
Well, it could be their gray water tank. Come on.
No, that's why these plans are so valuable because it sheds light on the true sources of erosion, sediment, and transmitting the water line. Sometimes it puts people on the books,
Okay.
which can be satisfying. Kind of educational.
Do we want to have this written up before we vote on this, or?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And I think we talked about meeting early next week to go over.
To go over all the warrant articles. So
Okay.
if it's not, we'll fit it in somewhere. But
That would be great.
Linda, you got another comment?
I do.
All right.
One of the residents on Applewood actually did that.
Okay.
They were crazy cutting down.
Yeah.
$25,000 fine. This was about 15, 20 years ago. And they stopped cutting and they just never came back. They're so peaceful.
Well, what do you want? A clean lake or a nice view? You can't have them both. That's double taxation right there.
And what was the fine? I think it was way more.
Yeah. All right, Frank. Thank you. Appreciate you guys' time coming in.
Thank you. Look forward to collaborating.
And can I just say I love your socks?
Oh.
They distract me quite a bit.
That's from the lady that's in flip flops. Still, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Flip flops. All right. Okay, new business. We're gonna push off the warrant articles because they're not quite ready. We'll probably have an earlier meeting next week on the warrant articles. And I think we already talked about the renovation, but at this time, 6:45-ish, I'll open it to public input. Where are you, boss? We've been waiting all day for you. We missed you last week.
A couple weeks.
Couple weeks now.
Oh, it's a privilege.
We're getting ready to put out a polo on you.
I didn't see any chicken soup sauce. I was a little disappointed. And having been tied up, I'm a little trying to catch up.
Okay.
But what I'd like to do is I'd like to present the report from the
First, who are you again?
Pardon me?
Who are you again?
George Krause, 455 New Road.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe known as Rusty, for those that might know me. But I have the report. I don't know if you want to receive this, Rick. You want me to give it to Gary and let him handle it as the selectman's rep?
Oh, so you got pictures? Because no use giving it to Gary.
There's plenty of good documentation there. I would say this. That is the first copy to be distributed.
Okay.
It has not been distributed to the committee. They saw a draft earlier on.
Oh, it's a subcommittee draft. Shut up.
And but that has not only the committee report, but also all of the references for previous committees and that were assigned in the past years, so that that's historical information to give perspective and see some of the common thoughts that have gone on over time. That is I can provide that in a electronic format. I wanted to first provide it in written format.
All right.
If you send the electronic format to Karen, she can forward it to all
Yep.
of us.
I can do that.
Yep.
If that's what you want me to do.
Yep. 'Cause
I will.
I need some night readers.
What the heck is this, Rusty? How the hell am I supposed to read that?
You just gotta get your glasses.
Glasses? You got a microscope.
Well, I can. Maybe
That's all right. Electronic copy is going to allow me to make this bigger.
Do whatever you want. That is a PDF file. That's what I was.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So that it's locked down. And if I request whether you want a chance to review before I have it posted on the town website.
We would definitely like a chance to review it. Although, I don't know, is it necessary?
It's from that committee.
From the committee.
So George, were you calling your report?
Pardon me?
Were you calling your report?
I mean, they don't need our
What I will say is just ask me that question. It would be the committee that was the
Administrative subcommittee.
Administration, town of Barnstable.
Administrative subcommittee report.
But that, the effort on behalf of the committee was pretty substantial. I would tell you that there's people out there that are way too busy, and they have huge difficulty in committing to time commitments. And this was a very significant undertaking because it was a review. It wasn't a decision, it was a review. And so when you're reviewing a lot of different concepts. And we also had to go back historically, because that's where the town has come forward. It's a very strong position over the last 50 years. But that's it.
I'd like to thank Rusty
Yes.
as
thank you,
well
Rusty.
for stepping
My
up with
pleasure.
this with the committee. And I mean, there was a lot of people come and go, couldn't, be there
That
at
was
different times, but he got it through it.
And if there's anything in that report that needs to be changed, modified from the standpoint of either configuration or whatever, I'm more than willing. Although it was a challenge if we were bringing stuff that was in, we wanted to make it and copy it and scan it and it comes up into a format.
Okay.
I have to tell you that I've learned that where I 20 years ago, I was a highly technical IT guy, and today I can't even turn my phone on, so. I feel pretty embarrassed.
Thank you.
So you'll tell me when you want me to put it up on the website.
I think you'll have to have Karen do it, right? So go ahead and send it to Karen.
Just get Danielle not doing it anymore?
You say send it to-
She does some things, depending on when you send it. I can't believe what Sunday, Monday, we just had.
Whatever, I'm on, I just have been working with her.
Oh, okay, all right. If she has access to it. I forgot that Danielle had access.
Well,
But see, when you send it to Karen, she can send it to all.
no, you know, Stonewall, I'm just trying to make sure that, because I will say that's one thing that we walked into this, that I would all recommend for future committee appointments, is that there needs to be a kind of a policy procedure good enough that gives you the kind of way to connect the dots, so that you can get to the publishing on the website, on the town's website, and keep the information flow so that people in the right to know law.
Yeah, we certainly.
It was a challenge at times, and I'm just probably one of those guys that likes to make sure I connect across the team.
I'll lend you my 8-year-old grandson anytime you want, because he'll figure it out for you. He does it all for me.
All right, great.
But along the lines of keeping the town updated on information there, the minutes for us haven't been updated since December 23rd, 2025. And I did check with Karen. Karen has emailed Danielle back on January 10th. And as of today, they're still not updated.
Well, and the reason they aren't is because you saw in the minutes tonight, the December 30th minutes had Rob Ellis in there as saying yes, and he wasn't even present that night, so we have corrected it. You guys have signed it, so those will go up tomorrow. Okay.
So is that the only one we're missing?
Well, and then the next one after will be January 6th. You
Okay.
have approved the 13th tonight, so then those.
All right.
That was mentioned at a budget committee meeting, so I just wanted to let everybody know.
All right.
I made a note of that.
Anybody else?
Mr. Bramante, 118 North Munstead. Can you provide any additional detail as to what you're going to do with the folks out there besides Jesse and everyone else?
I think we're gonna. The only two people we really have to worry about right at the moment is the two in that office. What are we gonna do with them for the time being? So the first one is Christine's out there. Christine is the new land use assistant, planning board clerk. So her office and Fab's office, the building inspector, they're sharing that office because they're doing a lot of the same stuff. So we got to relocate all the content in all that area somewhere, and we're going to move them into those other two into where Karen and the girls are.
The spacious
back.
area out there, we're gonna put them in.
Yeah. It's a temporary thing because this project here should probably only last, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks, tops, hopefully. We're not making any major changes. The only thing we are doing over there is we're doing some structural supports for the ceiling so that we can increase the size of the room. The room adds way more value as a whole than individual office space in the future. And we didn't want to put into work.
But as far as your question, Linda, we haven't even discussed it. We haven't even gotten that far to figure out the whole logistics of everything.
Well, and part of that is moving the registration and tax collector into that area. Okay, so that we can keep them going. they're not gonna miss a
Because
beat.
this will be open to the public, so they can still pay your taxes, register your vehicles. So you can't put everybody in town hall in here. So
As far as everybody else back there, we haven't quite.
we haven't discussed that yet.
We're not sure.
I have a suggestion, that if you've got excess stuff, furniture, maybe the building behind the church could be utilized for
Mhm.
storage.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's in there now.
Andy rules, I don't know.
And we're gonna try to put as much stuff that we can down in the basement, because a lot of the basement's not gonna be touched for the most part at this end of it.
We're just gonna put it all over the Freight Fire Station.
And then really, once we have the girls straightened out, we only need one good-sized office, basically. And these guys are pretty easy to move wherever. They don't have a lot of requirements. Give them some internet and they're good to go. So we haven't figured out all the details back there, but it is going to have to be completely empty.
That's what I figured at some point.
Yeah.
And is there like the basement that's going to be,
Everything's getting ripped up. That whole thing's getting gutted. Everything from the back of the stage back, all the way down to the ground.
Are we gonna be able to see the mural?
We'll see.
get rid of it?
But yeah, the big thing right now is the town clerk and the tax collector. Get them a nice space over there, and then we'll work on the rest. We got a couple of months to think about it, so.
And then does the construction start April, May?
This one here, next week. I don't know.
We have
Hopefully, spring.
Yeah, we have to still go out to bid. We haven't even done that yet.
Yep. We send it out to
Honestly.
bid.
Out to bid.
Oh,
And then, that one will take a little bit longer, but it should be. I would expect it'd be done in a couple, 3 months. But who knows?
It'll be fall.
Well, how fast does the police station go up? Pretty fast, wasn't it?
But that took till then the fall.
It started.
Started in the springtime.
Yeah.
They
So-
moved in like October,
So
November.
we're hoping it goes that fast. So we don't have to find a place for the winter. All right.
Go right ahead. You're on the same subject. No. What about tell us what we
Hey, Will.
Hi, I was excited to see that you guys at the Pittsfield Board of Selectmen on the agenda tonight. Very curious about what you want to talk about, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to mention that the BCEP that we developed, 35, 40 years ago, was the most cost-effective piece of government any of the 4 towns have. And if you're looking to talk about sharing other resources with them, I'm all for it. I have some specific suggestions I would offer as far as fire rescue and EMS goes, if you wanted to talk about it sometime. But
Yes, that is what the topic is about. They're lacking resources in some areas. We're lacking resources in some areas. Towns have been working together for a while now in different areas. Like a lot of the highway departments work together. They share equipment. They, do all kinds of things. And town this size should be doing the same thing.
absolutely. We did it with BCP 22 years ago. We built a high school with all. We looked for years and years and years to do it ourselves.
Barca can't do it all by itself.
You can't do it by yourself. So,
Mhm.
go push forward with that thing. And
Yeah.
I'm happy to offer my input.
Yeah, we didn't really want to postpone that meeting because we've been trying to do it now for 3 weeks, a month. The problem is budget season, all the other stuff we got going on. It takes a lot.
Pick up the torch, run with it.
Yeah,
You'll find other towns going to jump off.
and I think I think we'll get good feedback all the way around.
One of the things we were thinking, with various towns around, if one department has a paramedic on, that's good. That paramedic can like help out. So like if we have one on Saturday, Pittsfield has one on Sunday, Gilmanton, if they joined and had one, you know, it'd be nice to have that.
I got a plan, right here.
Oh, good.
If you want me to put it in writing,
Well, hey, feel free, because these are some of the things that we're gonna be talking about, and if you have a good idea, well, you know, that you wanna share, we're more than happy to have it.
I'll work.
More than happy.
He likes coffee.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
You all set? Oh, come on.
I'm not gonna move it.
Okay, who are you?
I don't know why. I haven't changed it the last time we moved it.
All right,
I
Rusty.
do it with respect to George Krause.
Jeff?
I'm on the Barnstead, you know. I know where I live.
Are you Center Barnstead or Barnstead?
I'm Barnstead.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm Barnstead.
Two things. One, I want to jump on to Will's comment. You know I've been pretty passionate for a while. I think you've figured it out by now. And certainly the concept of moving forward is you've got to be able to and willing to move forward by making changes. And change is not a friend in most people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
And consequently it becomes almost an obstacle. But we're into a period of time where we're trying to run communities and the state the same way we did back in 1900. And it won't work. You know, we're in a whole different situation. And although we'd like to make quick changes, the opportunity to make quick changes, if you can fit into the present RSAs as they're written, those changes are fairly simplistic in the big picture. If you want to make real change and really set the stage and go forward really for the future, it's going to require not only local community involvement, but state House of Representatives and state senator involvement to help us be able to provide the right foundation and the RSAs, and that doesn't happen overnight. So it's a problem that's imminent, but it's going to be a lot of work to get to some solution, pretty big steps.
Yeah.
But I'm like Will, my passion is pretty strong about doing good stuff, and I would encourage if you're interested in having some sort of a working group, I'd be more than happy
Perfect.
to help out. Moving along, one next thing is I listened to this watershed concept and discussion both for what's been done in Half Moon and what they're working on in the Lake. And I certainly think that is a critical movement path forward. However, we've got major problems in our lives with drainage. And if you look, and they don't fit into the big system, you know, it's like Hazelclock Hill. Drops everything right into the big river. I can tell you there are probably thousands of yards of gravel that was put on the hill that's in the river by my house. All right, because of the erosion that occurs. And what we have done is we constantly haul more in. We never try to recover what was there. And I'd be glad to point out and help highway department in understanding some of that. Those are areas that talk about critical areas. That's as critical as it gets, because I mean, the change in the river topography right there by the bridge is significant. I'm talking 10 or 15, maybe even much as 20 feet of change in the topography over the last 50 years. And I don't know how we address that, but it's something that needs to be addressed. They can haul all under those 6-wheelers out there and dump gravel up and down that hill. And the next time it rains, it's in the river.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever you want to do, if that's going to be the solution, you better do it tomorrow.
There's a blizzard coming.
Don't worry about the blizzard. That's just snow. You haven't lived in New Hampshire long enough to understand what it's all about. It's snow.
Hey?
No.
All right.
But, these are the challenges, and also the biggest challenge we have, and you guys are faced with is it costs money.
Yeah.
You're gonna make good decisions and have plans. Strategic planning is something that has never done a good job. We're always last minute, catch up.
Well, part of that's because most of the cost of these plans goes right back to the taxpayer, and between schools and everything else, people scream and they jump up and down. And the roads are probably the last thing on the list, unfortunately. We'll sacrifice this road or that road so we can fix this. And it's too bad, but it's reality,
And the sad thing
That's
is,
why.
the roads are something that affects everyone.
No, I get it.
So it's tough.
That's why if you get an opportunity where there are grants available for road repair, especially if it's, so it's related to watershed, it's still fixing our damn road, regardless. So
the problem is the problem.
Yeah.
You're fixing the problem. Water and erosion of material into water bodies is the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we live for our water here. And, between canoeing and boating and skiing and swimming and ice skating and fishing, I mean, it's the whole town.
One of the big issues right now, the roads are so narrow, you can't put any competition. That's a huge issue at this moment.
Well, unfortunately, unless you get a lot of money to buy increased right away, you're locked into what you got.
Well, technically,
I disagree, but and I don't want to debate that. I'm sorry, but with the problem we've got, I've driven because of our own lack of forward thinking. We have rules and regulations on timber harvesting alongside water bodies and roads. And what do we get? We get freaking tunnels for roads with cover of trees and limbs, and they're hazardous, and you can't cut them. And then when they come down, in the time you don't want them to come down, it's a real disaster.
Yep. You take out power lines and everything else too on the way. Yeah. Okay.
That's right. I mean, last year we had a cyanobacteria infection in the lake for 4 weeks.
I think you've had one every year for the past.
Not as bad as last year.
Which lake?
Something the year before. And this past year.
Well, not Half Moon, but I know Lock Lake.
From swimming in the water. And people were so disgusted on Labor Day weekend, even though we had a high amount of cyanobacteria, and we were out there every day looking for it because it moves.
Mm-hmm.
And you had people who were in the lake on Labor Day weekend with a cyanobacteria. Well, stupid is as stupid does. You can't stop them from doing this.
Well, have you seen the Merrimack that runs through the Massachusetts? That thing looks sweet.
But, and then in September, I actually was driving up North Winsted Road, and on the Rock Lake side, I noticed a green coverage on the water body on the channel there. So I called Rock Lake, and they went out and sampled the water, and it had worse cyanobacteria. It was something that you should not be in whatsoever, and thank God it was in that small canal, because the number of toxicity was so high that I sent out an email to everybody, just letting them know, stay away from the weir, stay away from the dam, because it was coming back into Half Moon Lake. You couldn't reach the lake itself, but it was in the dam, that people fishing in the dam. So, cell bacteria is what we're trying to take and prevent.
Yes, we are.
And that's a challenge, especially with the silt and the phosphorus that's already.
It's like McDonald's bags on 28. Same concept. All right, I'm going to close public input at 7:10. I think we're going to go into non-public. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to go into non-public under RSA.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Interesting.
Aye. You vote? You vote?
Aye.
You vote?
Yeah.
See you, Rusty. Thank you. See you later, Will.
Thanks, Will.
Yep, you can go, Karen, you can go too, if you'd like.
Wait, we
You can
need
go
to.
home if you want.
See you guys.
Okay, sorry, you can't.
Well, if you want, we can do hers real quick, and then we can do.
Go ahead. Yeah, we'll do hers. Did you have something? Or did we have something for you?
I do. We're here that we talked about last week. That hasn't been told to her yet.
Okay.
So
Karen's talking to you.
Yeah, I know, they need to go first.
Yes, no, I was gonna say this public, I just have all the, quotes and stuff, jobs, etc.
Oh, okay. No, I probably should have asked if there was anything else you wanted to throw in there. I apologize. Okay, hold on.
Hey,
Guys, can you guys step out a second? Both of you?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah. Thank you. You can probably wait in the lobby, Jarvis, if you want.
Linda, where's the boss?
I'll be sitting on the couch.